Dear friends, today we discuss about the competitive examination in which malaria disease. This is one of the public health concern. So we have to see what type of um, diseases, different types of diseases are there. So what we have to see that here our channel General Science Studies Vision 1947. I am Dr. R.C. Chipa. Today, the program Malaria, which is to be discussed here, anti-malarial drugs are to also discussed. So, what are the health impacts because of the malaria disease? There are in historical so many examples of malarial disease, how this malaria is spreads. Malaria itself is spread because of the mosquito. All of you have to know about the mosquito. This is one of the flying animal and their class is insects. So there are number of insects present all around us and those are the part of our life. So various insects are there in our life. Those insects also concerned with agriculture produce, number of insects, disease, damage, agriculture there. So therefore they needs pesticides. Pesticides are the toxic chemicals. So how these pest means whatever the insects. So mosquito is an example of the insect. So what we have to know how this malaria is spread all over surroundings. This the major thing is the cleanliness. Major thing is that we have to clean our surroundings. So this is one of the most important. How we say that cleaning itself is important for our health. Even in malaria cases, the number of peoples are died because the high temperature of body is generated. So this one is also the public health and government have program related with the malaria eradication. The question is there and they spread to avoid the malaria, the the insects here, those are to be away from the places. So mosquito itself, this is one of the vector by mosquito, the disease malaria is spread. What about the basic protozoan? So all of you have to know about very small animal. Those small animals are not seen by naked eyes. The small animal, those are the protozoans. Protozoans is the class of animal. So those are unicellular. Here the major cause of a malaria is the protozoans. So now we have to come. Malaria is still to be widespread infectious disease. Here the word infection. So how those are infected ourselves? So it included in the public health program of government of India, even the World Health Organization also care about the malaria spreads. So this is also part of the human health care. Number of protozoans only here the protozoans are whatever we have discussed today, but the vector animal are mosquito. Mosquitoes are also of different types. Here anopheles. Anopheles, then in anopheles that is also the female anopheles. However, number of other disease are also spread because of the mosquito like dengue. So here what we have to see the causes. What are those causes of malaria? Here infectious disease, parasites of the genus Plasmodium. So what is the Plasmodium? This is unicellular animal that cannot be seen by our eyes, and that cover the very small animals like those are the unicellulars. So here Plasmodium itself is the cause of, and this under Plasmodium remains as a parasite. Whatever the major cause is transmission factor. How malaria is transmitted from one person to another, and that is because of the female Anopheles mosquito. So what we have the transmission from one place to another place. Mosquito flies, whatever the mosquito remains in our life in surroundings. If suppose today rainfall is there, then moisture is there, so definitely the mosquito will be more and more there. So transmission factor is one of the important. I have discussed the mosquito Anopheles genus. This is the primary vector that transmit the parasite. What about the parasite? That is the Plasmodium. Then the vector animal, the mosquito. But specific mosquito is the Anopheles type. Anopheles. However, there are certain other types of mosquito. All of you have to know about how many insects are there in animal kingdom. There are about 1 lakh number of insects which are present on our planet. So out of those, that is the Plasmodium. This is concern for the human health because Plasmodium transmit from one people to another people through the mosquito, and definitely that transmitted into the blood. And when the mosquito pierce the body of other people, if mosquito is with Plasmodium, so definitely in case of the other people, the Plasmodium is transmitted, and that Plasmodium protozoan further the uses the human body blood, human body, so that those bacteria, those protozoans remain in the blood. Now all of you have to know about the genus and species of when human being, Homo sapiens. So Homo sapiens is the animal we have, and that is zoological name. So here various parasites of Plasmodiums are there. What happened? Out of those, the genus Plasmodium falciparum, one. Another Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale, and these causes a specific fever, very specific fever. Even death may be occurs for peoples. The historically the issues are there when the BHC, DDT. All of you have to know about the DDT powder. So that is one of the major pesticides. So when DDT was discovered during the 1930s, and the malaria was controlled because of that particular pesticide. Nowadays, DDT itself is banned pesticide. Why? Because DDT gives so many adverse effect on in our life. So later on, number of other pesticides are invented in agriculture. Number of pesticides are used. All of you know that why today the question of organic farming, because that is the natural farming. So when insects come in the agriculture crops and they damage overall. So therefore we need certain chemicals, and those are controlled by pesticides. Let's so different types of fevers are occurs: quartan, oval, vivax, falciparum. So fever depends on these species. What happen? Very high temperature of body is generated because of the Plasmodium species. So there certain periods after recurring of fever. All of you know recurring fever is recurred after 24 hours, after 12 hours, and at that time toxic chemicals are generated in infected, malaria infected people, and heavy temperature. The temperature is raised and raised because that does not control. So malaria, there are schemes are there in India as well as World Health Organization. Now here the Plasmodium protozoans has the two hosts: vertebrates, that is the part of the zoology, the specific class. Human being is also there. So not human being, other vertebrates can be also host where Plasmodium remains as parasite and infect the animals. And one is the mosquito. Here mosquito is which one? Anopheles. Anopheles is male or female? Female anopheles. So mosquito are vector by which malarial fevers occurs. When mosquito bites human, then parasite is injected into the blood. Like in case of the injection. So if we have to see the blood taken by the syringe, so like a syringe, the mosquito sucks the blood, and when the sucking of blood from people, so definitely that particular sucking, if that mosquito is infected by and by Plasmodium, so definitely that will be there in another people. Then there is the cycle of those particular Plasmodium, and certain period, if suppose after 24 hours, if a specific Plasmodium circulates, and then toxic chemicals are generated, and those toxic chemicals raise the temperature of human body. So let's we have another causes, whatever those earlier discussed, water bodies. So here rainfall, moisture is there. If we have to see the Vadodara, we Mumbai, the Chennai, those are surrounding with the seas. So definitely moisture will be there and the growth of malaria is very fast. Pool, containers outside of our houses, the container, drains, standing water provides the breeding sites of the mosquito. Humid conditions favor because in presence of moist they favor the breeding and parasites. Similarly, the anopheles and Plasmodium. Anopheles, the mosquito, Plasmodium, the parasite. Plasmodium is the unicellular protozoans. So, how we can control? Whatever we have, the nets, indoor residual spray, whatever certain chemicals are using, mosquito repellents. Mosquito, so many industries are there, so they uses. There are manufacture of insecticides as a mosquito repellents. So to increase spraying and the vector control measures, so this can be there. Introduction of malarial parasite into area where competent mosquito vectors are present. So malaria is public health, human health concern. Now the treatment. Quinine. Earlier in Ayurveda, there was also the quinine tablets. Very, very bitter. So here, when growth of drugs, growth of pharmaceuticals, chemicals are increased, so certain allopathic medicines in which certain specific chemicals which are the part of the medicines. So medicines are what? Allopathic medicines. However, there are Ayurvedic, homeopathic, certain other pathies are also there. So this is totally chemical based. So here quinine salt, 4-aminoquinoline. I have given the quinine structure, 8-aminoquinoline, biguanides, diaminopyrimides, certain other, deposone, sulfonamide. Then here what happened? One more thing is there. Other antibiotics are also used along with these, tetracycline and erythromycin. So disinfection of mosquito, we have, this is the insecticides are used. Pesticide paste, insecticides control the insects. Mosquito, this is the class, this is the example of insects class. Now we have, thank you for all of you to listening this particular specific video, and that is one of the public health related issue, and this is most important because malaria spreads, malaria causes. Here I am giving one thing, the malaria, one thing, anti-malarial drugs, another thing. Then we have the pesticides, another thing. Then we have the insecticides. Number of insecticides are present. DDT was the first insecticide and DDT controlled number of people because the death of malaria is there. What we have, certain quinine Certain the causes: moisture, seaside area, then the rainfall, moisture, then what about the overall cleaning, wastewater, that is the wastewater, also the water bodies, rivers, seasides, whatever different. So all of the, so it is requested to all of you have to subscribe my channel, General Studies Science year 1947. Share this to another social networking, and definitely you have to comment any of the suggestion you have to give me, so that will be, so this is, thank you for all. Thank you.